spell in, and we'll give some comments.
Absolutely. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is the adult mid-kata class.
Go! So, quick note, first of all, you're gonna see me take my gi top off because one day when you all get up there and you get yourselves a nice pretty master's belt, you're gonna find something out about these belts. They take about 5 years before you can freaking tie them.
Yeah.
So with that said, Bow 6, created by Grandmaster Quinn. Never, ever have I seen him do the kata the same twice. Never. If you go online to YouTube, what you'll see is him doing what he calls his demo kata. And the demo kata of Bow 6 is mind-blowing. I mean, it is really, really tough. And it's beautiful, but it's tough. Then there's the standard, which has not been set up. So you learn this from me, and let's say you remember it, and then you get, you're like, I'm gonna recommend one person, he doesn't know this, but I would recommend that you go to Sensei Zan, Alexander No. I'm asking him if he would standardize this, and let's get it on film. I'm not volunteering to standardize it because I can't do it justice. I have too many injuries. So part of when I'm doing the kata, I'll point it out to you, but anywhere you see me doing a one-armed strike, that's still two-armed. I can't, like right now, my shoulder, that's pinning my shoulder real bad. So I got a really bad left shoulder. So you'll see me do a lot of adjustments. The only move that move, I'll do it like this. So don't do one arms and stuff like that.
But again, he'll point it out just so that you know how to, it needs to be done.
But if you build a kata or you say, things have changed here or there, that's correct. If you ever take a kata to advanced levels, if you take kata now and you learn it until you're a freaking 6th degree and you're doing it the same way that you learned it, you've missed the essence of the kata. But if you can't teach it the same way you learned it, that's another question. I wish I could say I could teach this the way I learned it, but I'm gonna get real close. All right, with that said, what's that first thing over here? One green stripe.
Wait.
Wade? Did Wade just leave?
So,
I was gonna tell Wade if he stays on, if you're a one green striper and you're a true one green striper, this kata is gonna blow your doors off.
so Joe and John, since you're just sitting there, you might want to turn your video off, but ask questions if you need it.
You can leave it on, you're very pretty. Who's down the bottom? Who's E?
Thanks. Miss Attaway.
Oh, so, okay, so we already bowed in, opening move. You step into an X stance, let the bow come, you see where the back of the bow came over my head here? You wanna be nice and deep there, and then from right here, you're gonna launch with your lead leg, sweep, downward strike, jab, step through, downward strike, side stance, jab. That's your opening series. Now I can tell you right now, so X stance, so you want to start the kata, you kind of come out here, woo, wham, and you nail it. Boom, this is all side stance. Go, side stance, jab, forward stance, vertical down. We're gonna go the other direction right after this. Okay, huh? Okay, I'm gonna tell you, look, there's gonna be extended strikes all over this kata. If you know how to do extended strikes, you'll see easily where you might be able to fit them in, but we'll talk about those now. So we'll come in, load it up here, sweep, diagonal down, jab, long side stance, step through, diagonal down, jab, forward stance. Here's your extended strike right here. You ready to go on? Or you want to do a few reps of this? All right, let's do quick 5 reps. What? Okay. Load it up, sweep, jab, step through, diagonal down, jab, forward stance, vertical down. Again, that's a two-handed vertical down. This is just me.
So make sure it's right through your center. And the one thing we can't see on Zoom very well is if you're going through your center. So make sure it's here, not to your side,
Okay, but if you're gonna follow through, it does come to the side
but after.
after you come all the way there and cut it. Okay, boom, and sweep, dial down, jab, step through side stance, dial down, jab, forward stance, vertical down. Okay, 3 more reps. Sweep, hit it, jab, side stance, dial down, jab, shift, forward stance, vertical down. 1 more, we'll go on. Now I'll tell you a little thing about this opening move in a minute. Come, sweep, dial down, jab. Come through, dial down, jab. Vertical strike down, okay? Oh, sensei, when I did my Sandan test, I broke my shoulder doing this kata. And afterwards, he tried to get me to do this. He really wanted this to be big, woo, a big opening, okay? All right, so we're gonna take it there, we're gonna add on. Here we go. What, question? Megan, you got a question?
My brain is just not getting that first, like, spinny flourish after the X stance.
Okay, so after the X stance, so when you come here, okay, one of the applications is a block high. But anyway, when you come here, this is just a sweeping. So if we didn't do anything, just come here, sweep a leg out, dive it out. There you go. So you're here, it comes through, grab underneath, boom. So what Sensei would tell you is when you come from right here, grab it as early as you can. Because of my bad shoulder, I know. Grab it early, and it's just diagonal down.
Face the other way and do it once.
This way?
Yeah, make that way. Megan, see if it helps. So you're going the opposite, it looks like. Almost.
You want to come down. So once you get here, you're up high,
It goes
bring it down.
right to left.
Okay, so you're here, reach under. Now, bring this hand up and swing it up. And now down. Ah, you came too far. You went too far. Do it again. Come here, grab it, swing it up. Now, right here, what's
Right.
high?
Your right hand
Do
goes
it.
down.
Strike down.
Face the other way. If he faces the other way,
Okay.
it might be
So
easier.
you come here, you're up, and then it swings down.
See how the right hand goes, it goes from right down.
You're going here, and then circling more.
She's got to do 2 more
Okay.
times of it.
2 more times, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Bam. One more. Listen, your best idea here is don't be thinking you're gonna walk away from this remembering the whole kata. Some might. Just work the different parts of it, and over time, as you get both 6, there you go, Megan. As you get both 6, you'll get it. But you're gonna have to work this a lot, believe me. Very few people learn this in one session, very few. Here we go. Load it up, sweep, strike, jab, forward stance, down. Now shift into side stance, jab back to the way. This is a 2-handed jab, by the way, so I'm here, boom, but I can't do that. And then shift in the forward stance, lower block, vertical up. All right? So let's go from here. We're in forward stance, vertical down. Side stance, jab back. Forward stance, lower block. Vertical up. Now, 1, 2, 3. And then a vertical up. Okay? So I'll do this facing you all. I'm here, forward stance, vertical down. Side stance, jab back. Forward stance, lower block, vertical up. Figure 8. 1, 2, 3, and lock it down vertical. Bring it up. And then from there, front knee, you kind of shuffle. I do a knee charge, but you shuffle, jab, jab. So here I'm here and I shuffle. 1, 2. high, low. If you're experienced, you should come here, hit the low, hit the high, so you already extended. Boom, boom, boom. So, remember, I told you this. Keep it in mind and just work it out. This kata can blow your doors off. It's really a challenge, and it's a great kata to work out. Don't have it in your head that if you're not getting it, it's not worthy. If you ever want to get this kata, you better assign yourself to a couple sessions. Go ahead and put it on 10. Well, what time is it? Okay. Go from the top. Okay, so let's go from the top. We sweep. Diagonal down, we jab. Diagonal down, we jab. Forward stance. Vertical down. Jab back and side stance. Shift forward stance. Lower block. Vertical up. One. Now, how many of these you want to do? That's up to you. Have fun with it. Make it look cool. Here. Now, vertical down. Vertical up. Jab, jab. Look to your left. Pull your left leg back in the right forward stance. Sweep across low. Come up to the head level. Sweep across high. Step in. Horizontal. Circle. Circle. Close the circle down. Jab and back.
Let's work that.
Ah, John Burns. Master John has joined in. Up. He just left. Thought he was being tricky. Okay. Let's go to where? Let's go here. We're down. Boom. Side stance, jab. Forward stance, lower block. Vertical up. Figure eights. Vertical down. Vertical up. Jab, jab. Pull the left leg back. Sweep it across. So if you're in forward stance, pull the left leg all the way back so you go left to your left 90 degrees into a right stance. There you go, Mark. Here, what did I just do? Oh, boom, bring it back over to your side. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool, cool, choo, bang. So we're here. I'm changing direction on you so you can see what I'm doing. We just went into 2 pokes. 1, 2. I'm going to turn to the side and sweep across. Bring it up. Well, not that high. Up about head level. Bring it across here and step into it and hit it. Now you're going to start big, into little, and jab right down the center of it.
So that move when you.
Hold on, Mark's got a question.
Let's do that one again. I'm kind of missing the turn on that 90.
So when you do the turn with the whip of the bow, just before we get there, make sure that your core is really tight because you want that powerful. So you got to lock everything in and just use your feet and your legs, your navel in.
All right, so I'm turning my direction. I've just done the 2 jabs and I'm right forward stance. The left leg pulls back and the bow sweeps across in front of me. So the jab's out here, I just drop the same end down and around.
90 degrees to.
Now bring it back. Bring it up, over. And really all you're doing here, we're emphasizing that this 1, 2 strikes versus going boom and going like that. We want it to be a clean cut across and then you step inside stance. Then do your circle. 1, 2, 3, bam! And I bring it back down. You don't have to. That's just me doing putting some art into it. You can leave it out because the next move is going to be across underneath the rising roof block. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Let's work that 5 times and then.
All right, so we're gonna.
180 degrees. Are you turning with your left leg spinning around? Or is it your right leg? I didn't see that.
Yes, my left leg is pulling through. If I did this absolutely correct, it really goes underneath yourself. But you want to end up in a left lunge stance with a roof block.
The left foot.
The left foot, I am moving my left foot.
But you landed, yeah, he's got a left lunge.
Okay? So let's go from here. We do the jab, jab. 1, 2. Okay? And then I'll tell you in right stance. Pull the left leg back, sweep across, bring it over. Bring it up, bring it over, and then strike horizontal. Big circle, jab. Then you're gonna cross one of these to there. Good. All right, so we'll go from the top. Or you want that move full time?
Can we rep that from the beginning a couple times?
Yep. You want me to have my back to you or facing you? You want me to have be the direction the kata is?
Yeah, direction the kata is.
1, 2. Step back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Circle. Boom. You should be extended right there on that circle jab. So you circle. So when you come here, you do this extended strike here. You do a circle that has a lot of complexity in it that you have to learn over the years, which is this. When I'm circling, I'm twisting the bow with my rear hand. That's something you got. For the rest, don't worry about that right now. Just
And that's very, Bobigam.
worry about turning the bow, the circle here. Don't get all caught up in this right now, the rear hand. That's advanced bow, and you got to learn that. All right, so we're here. Yeah. So we're jab, jab. Pull through, we're extended right now. Over, up, extend to the other end as we come across. Jab, circle, whoop. Now, left this part out. Right after the circle, go into a lunge stance and then pull it back. Okay. Okay, Master Elizabeth asked me whether it's a circle counterclockwise or clockwise. When the time comes that you're going to use this kata to perform for, let's say, a Dan rank, the circle has to match your application. So if your application is counterclockwise, do it counterclockwise. If it's clockwise, they say, well, when would I use a counterclockwise versus a clockwise application? That's called, you have now advanced your knowledge of the bow through the kata. To say you would use it in this situation or that situation would be too confusing right now. We'd have to sit there and explain it for an hour. You hit it, I go counterclockwise in and back. And then from here, I cross under and over. All right.
Master Robert, when you do that, when you lunge forward, that's extended, and when you come back, do you come back to center, or do you keep extended when you come back?
Good question. When I come from there, I drop back to the center.
Okay.
Now, again, some people go from here and go right into it from the lunge stance. There are some of my demo aspects added in. Because this is, this has an effect. You go, heat the song and look the other way. Right? You finish this further. And you go back the other way. And you can feel the power of that move. It makes you feel strong when you do it. And then the audience can feel that strength and it turns them on. And that's part of running the demo. All right, so we're here. Jab high, jab low. You're going to extend it. Sweep low. Bring it up. Come across. And right after you come across, extend it strike. Circle. Jab. Bring it back.
So when you do that extension, when you reach, remember, you're keeping your body straight. And if you can see my rear foot, I'm in my heel. As soon as you start to roll over on the inside of your heel, you lost your power. So there, boom, stay on your feet.
And don't worry about watching some master get out here and they bend their back, okay? We all make mistakes. You know that you want to keep your body structure strong.
But if you do lean, make it so that as you lean, it's straight here. You don't want to be rounded, right?
See, when she leans, she has good structure. When I lean, it looks like bad structure. So there's ways to lean that work. All right, you want to go on or you want to run it to there a few times?
Let's go from the beginning to that point a few times, please.
Okay. What time is it? I run it a few times till then, and then we're gonna have our first break for philosophy.
Okay.
We're here. Step behind, roll it and down. Jab, step through, diagonal down, jab, forward stance, vertical down. Side stance, jab back. Forward stance, lower block, vertical up. Figure 8. Bring it up. Now you're going to extend it. Jab, jab, sweep and extend it. Bring it up, bring it across, and then extend to the other end. And circle, jab, bring it in. Let's do it again.
So once you bow your hands over and then open it back.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what it's pointing out, that you bow here, you bow into the kata, and when you step out, the hand goes to right there. But when it goes to right there, it very quickly, right when you get to here, it grabs as soon as it can, and you're in. Okay? We're here. Boom. Jab. Diagonal. Jab. Vertical down. Side stance. Jab. Lower block. Vertical up. 1, 2. Down. Up. You should be extended now. I'm sorry. Jab. Jab. Sweep. Sweep. Bring it up. Bring it across. Shoot. Jab. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Stop. One more, we're gonna take a 30-second or 1-minute break for philosophy. Here we go. Boom, pow, jab, down, jab, vertical down, side stand, forward stand, vertical up. 1 up, sorry. 2, 3, vertical up again. Jab, jab, sweep, up, come across, horizontal, circle in. And out. Okay. How many people here can right now, if I ask you to rattle off 10 lessons of leadership, can you rattle it off?
Repeat.
10 lessons of leadership.
Wellness.
What's the first one?
Okay, so the first one is. The first one is fitness, and then wellness. For most people, they discover how to eat right after they start working out. I'm working out hard now. I gotta eat right.
But also fitness and wellness. Fitness also means fit in the mind, right?
Fitness, wellness, and that's you. That's also what you give your students. You have a class, you work them out hard. You don't spend 55 minutes talking about how to eat right. You spend a couple of minutes to say, hey, think about it. Maybe after class tonight, skip that Coca-Cola, skip that beer, drink water. Do the right thing for yourself. Fitness, wellness, and the next one is going after the class. And the first nest of that is assertiveness. If you don't practice being assertive or understand being assertive, you might accidentally end up being come across like you're scorning or you're mad at the student.
So it's-
This is not being assertive. That's being pissed off. Assertive just what? Assertive just says, like, especially like if a student constantly cuts in on you when you're trying to talk to the class, assertive is like, wait till after class to ask me that, please. You just go ahead and you guide the class, you guide the conversation, you speak your mind because you're confident in what you're speaking about. But add one thing to assertiveness and you start getting very rounded, and that's called openness. If you can be assertive and open, now you're on the path.
So assertive is not a negative, right? So it's assertive, but at the same time, being open means that it's a give and take relationship. Of course, in class, it's the instructor's driving the class, but if a student has a question, any question's valid, right?
So it's assertiveness, because I had a long conversation with Sensei about what he called the 5 tips. And communicate, assertive, communicative, and stuff like that. So we'll go on with those on the next break.
So those are the first 4. What's the first one?
Fitness.
Fitness, body, mind, which rolls into
Wellness.
Wellness.
And then
As the leader of the class.
you want to make sure you are
Assertive,
assertive,
and open.
and open.
open.
So these are in a specific order for a specific reason, but you know how our philosophies are, they constantly rotate and kind of dependent on each other. They're always constantly spiraling within the one.
What time is it?
11.
Okay, so give it 15 minutes. All right, let's move on. If you can't remember the kata to here, first of all, you can you know, this will be on video. You can work it, we can work together, but very hard kata to learn in one session. Anyway, so we're here, we pulled back and we're here. You're gonna cross under. From here, you're gonna basically come down, down, up, cross, cross, and then you're gonna step through with your left foot on a 45-degree diagonal angle. Right forward stance, lower block. I'll finish this move. Vertical up, and drop back to natural stance. And right now you're focused on what's coming up behind you on the diagonal. So we're here.
Master Robert, yeah, let's slow that one down because of the turns. We're doing the opposite because of the rotation. It's a little hard to follow.
All right, here we go. My back is turned. You're here. You look to your left. Do the rising block. Now you've done the rising block. Diagonal down, vertical up. In a right stance, horizontal across. Now, as you step your left foot to put yourself on the diagonal here and do a roof block here into a lower block on the diagonal. And then vertical up, vertical down as you come back. Okay, so again, we're here, we just jabbed that way, so we're here now. Oh, that's the same way they're facing, right? Okay, so we're here. You're gonna look to your left, and you're gonna step away from it with your left leg, roof block. From there, you're gonna shift in the forward stance, diagonal down, vertical up, horizontal across. Now, some people will go ahead and do a second horizontal if you want, because that feeds into, from the cast stance with a roof block and drop on the 45 with a lower block. Okay? So if we're directional, the kata is starting, this move that we just did, just shifted the kata on this 45.
That's northeast.
Okay, so that's northeast. So again, we're here, roof block, forward stance, diagonal down, vertical up, horizontal feeding into the roof block, lower block, vertical up. We're back to the point where we started the kata, but in your mind, when you start the kata, your focus is north, south, east, west. Now in your mind, the kata has shifted to northeast, southwest. You just came from the northeast and you're ready to go southwest on the next move. That makes sense? That's why it's an advanced kata. Opened up on the X and Y pattern. Now it's going on the 45-degree pattern. And that's where we're at. So we're up. Boom. Forward stance, diagonal down, vertical up. Cast stance, horizontal across. I left out that cast stance. Come through as you step and then turn on the 45, vertical up. Yeah, in a cast stance, step out, vertical up. You see, there's another thing I'll share with you. I used training camp to reestablish my kata. I don't spend the whole year working on this thing. Are you kidding me? I'd fall apart. I'd be in a wheelchair. Okay, we're here. We hit it. We come back. Cross under. Forward stance, diagonal down, vertical up, come up, cast stance, horizontal, step out, horizontal, pull the right foot in, diagonal down, cast stance, step out, vertical up, vertical down, and just come back in. Okay, so listen now, I'm talking about the legs.
Master Robert.
Right leg steps in the forward stance. What?
When when we are off that 45, when we come back to natural stance, is it straight ahead though, or we?
Yeah, no, okay, yeah, in case you didn't hear me, I said you're back to north,
Yeah, okay.
okay? But your mind, your concept, you're gonna look on the diagonal now. Your mind is on the diagonal now, but the audience, it looks like you're back facing forwards, which is why suddenly the whole thing shifts on the diagonal. Okay, so we're here, we hit it, we cross under, the right foot shifts into a forward stance as you diagonal down, vertical up. As you come up, the left foot comes to left cast stance, horizontal across, it steps out, horizontal across. You pivot on the left foot into a right cast stance, lower block, step out, vertical, the bow, and then drop the vertical. Some people hit the vertical and then pull back. I like to go with it, you know, just into a V stance. So if you're gonna do anything, you can drop it down, but then you pull it back in, nice and straight. Because the next move, I can't do because of my shoulder. This hand comes over the top and grabs the bow. You look, and you step out to here. And then go into a whole nother facet.
Let's do that section 2 more times and then we'll correctly.
Okay, so you want this section again? So we jab, we pull back. Left foot steps through and under. Right foot shifts into forward stance, lower block, diagonal down, vertical up. Left cast stance horizontal, left forward stance horizontal. Shift 45 degrees, lower block, cast stance, forward stance, vertical up, vertical down, come back to V stance. Tell me this kata doesn't rock. Okay, one more time. You're here, you look, cross under, left lunge stance. Right forward stance, vertical down, vertical up, left cast stance, horizontal, left forward stance, horizontal. Turn, right cast stance, right forward stance, V stance. Okay. What did you say you want to do now? Did you? Okay, let's go from the top. You might now understand why we don't have too many people in this class. It's the same thing when I teach at a training camp. It's harder than close combat. I'm not gonna say that actually. You're here, you come in here, you bow in, from the bow in. And as you know, when you bow in, you want to work real hard keeping that stick straight. You bow in, you come out of the bow in, and you just step right into it. Boom, boom, diagonal down, jab. Side stance, diagonal down, jab, forward stance, vertical down, side stance, jab back, forward stance, lower block, vertical up. Okay, go with it. 1, 2, 3, vertical up, jab high, jab low, left foot pulls back, sweep across, bring it up, sweep across, extended strike, circle, jab, pull back. Go back where we just were. Look to the left, come out with the root block, forward stance, diagonal down, vertical up, cast stance horizontal, forward stance horizontal, cast stance, lower block, forward stance, vertical up. Boom. So you might notice one of the main things about this is the strikes aren't that particularly different. It's the footwork that you haven't seen in this, like in a kata like this before. Like you get, if you all know bow 5 is a whole nother world of strikes. Bow 6 is a whole nother world of patterns. Okay. You want to go on and see a little bit more because time's running fast. Wait, we have till 12, don't we? Oh, I was thinking 11:30. Okay. Let's just go on, and then the parts you catch on to, you do the parts, you know, like I said, if we just want to get to the kata to a certain point, you're going to remember it all, that's fine. But I'd like to at least rep some of the cool parts. Okay, so we're here, we did all that, and we're here. You're thinking on the diagonal now. So as you look back over your shoulder that way, as you reach your hand over and grab your bow, which I can't do, you grab it, and this hand right here does this little flip. right into the thumb. It doesn't catch it, but it doesn't. You're here, and as you turn, you have your hand here, you're here. And as you turn, you flip your hand underneath
So it's sitting in this web.
in the web. Right? So you come here, you grab it, and you flip it underneath. Now, here's what's gonna happen to you on your test. If you totally diz this move, this is gonna happen in your test. And I'm gonna be in the stands and I'm gonna go, I told you don't diz that move.
So you're gonna end up southwest.
It's such an easy move when people do this on the test.
Which means it's not such an
It sticks out like a sore thumb when you do that, man. So you're here, grab it, hit it. Now we're going southwest. So, boom, diagonal down, vertical into the figure, oh no, vertical down, vertical up, and now we're going reverse figure eights. Okay, get here. Boom, quick step through, left stance, jab, right stance, pulls back and comes across. Okay, the opposite of what we did before. Earlier we did from a forward stance, left foot step back and across. Now we're here, strike down, boom, coming up with these. Vertical up, pull back, step through left foot, jab, pull the right foot back and come across high.
So now you're northwest.
Now we're northwest. And this is a little tricky move. This is the move here. You come across high, and the move's gonna come straight down. How many of y'all ever taken mathematics? A lot of mathematics. Okay? We're gonna do a nice little curve here. You come across, you make the y and x axis, and you make a curve inside of that. And Quinn really emphasized this for a guy that didn't do a lot of math. X, Y, and then a curve. And then you get a jab, circle, and forward roll. And this is where I broke my shoulder during my Sandan test. That was a rough day. Yes. That's the little move. And I named this move when Quinn taught it to me because he's like, all right, he goes, you got that move, man. He goes, everybody blows that move. And I said, yes, I call it the no move. You have to think that about for a minute. It's the no move. Pow, circle, pow, forward, sweep behind, strike, strike behind, block, boom, and we're halfway through the kata. 40% through the kata. All right, so let's go here. Natural stance, facing north. Reach over, underneath. Diagonal down, vertical down, start your figure eights. Now, vertical up. This is how I do it, but really it's just a step through, get elongated, jab. I do a knee charge, jab. Turn this way and do the move we just talked about. Now you're on the northwest. Circle, jab, and the short end goes into the roll. When you do the roll, you're gonna pull the right foot through with the right forward roll. Yes. So when you come here and you do all this, and we did the jab, when we turn this way, oh no, sorry, nice question. We're in back stance. We do that move while we're in back stance, circle, shift, forward stance with the jab, then step through into a right forward roll. Now, right there, Sensei Mark, do that again. Remember, you're in extended strike when you start the roll. Now, right there, when you come up, you shouldn't have twirled. Right when you came out of it, look behind yourself. You got the short end of the stick in your hand and block behind yourself.
Like a war block.
Now, take the right foot and step through on a diagonal and do a butt strike. Right? And then from there, you're gonna re-extend it again and block low the other way. Block high. Block there with two hands.
So when you say butt strike, are you talking butt strike or?
Okay. This is a butt jab. This is a butt strike. So I'm talking about coming across with a butt strike versus a butt jab.
Horizontal with the butt end of this bow.
Look at that bow. Don't you feel sorry for it? That bow's really seen its years.
We got these bows in a seminar in 1988 in Miami from Master Locke. We gave the seminar.
What, you want to show me something?
This is
What about
one-
that bow? Huh?
This is the one from 1991 training camp. I still have it.
91?
Yep.
Right.
Nice. This is from 88 camp in Miami. Okay, come around real quick. We have a timer going off. If you don't do this in your classes, this sense as teachers, try to get in the habit of it. Set a timer and do a philosophy every so many, minutes. We only do it for a minute or two. So we did fitness, wellness, assertiveness, openness. What would you as a leader? You're assertive and you're open. The next one, again, it's logical. What do you think comes next? Be fair.
Fairness. Yep.
Be assertive, be open, and be fair. Right there, your leadership is not going to be that combative. It could be mind-opening, which could still actually make a student mad. You can make a person mad by giving them logical reasoning because it goes against their nature. Assertive, open, and fair.
So again, fair doesn't mean we're complying to what everybody says. It just means we're open to listening, and then fair when whatever the conversation's about.
Many a person gets upset when you don't take any of their ideas. They don't think you're being fair. When actually the essence of it is, if you want to do feedback, but you can't logically come up with a better solution than what's being put there or a better argument that's being put there, you better be ready to suck it up, because a person's not dissing you all because they didn't change their mind because of you. And if the person constantly, if you really, really have a good argument, I'm not saying it never happens, of course, but be assertive, be open, and be fair.
And to think about it, this is the nesses of leadership. So somebody has to lead the people, let's say it's the class. And so it's not just that one person to think about. It's all the students in the school, it's the style, right?
So what comes next? Anybody, if you're reading them, that's fine. We're not reading them, but if you're reading them, assertive, open, fair, take a class. How do you teach a class of 50 people? It can be overwhelming when you're a new sensei. You teach one person at a time.
Oneness.
I'm sorry, before that. Be assertive, open, fair. Be direct.
And directness is the opposite of being vague, right? If we're kind of like, well, I kind of want you to do this, we want to be direct. Step out in this stance. Why? Because number one, we're there to learn martial arts. Number two, we're there to protect them to make sure nobody gets hurt. If we're vague, if we're not direct, then potentially someone can get hurt by that.
So be direct, and then being direct, if we focus down directness to an actual concept, you teach each person one at a time, which means you get a class of 50. This is the truth. This is how a sensei is to teach. 50-person class, you're doing at least 50 reps, because he's going to look at every single student one time, 50 times. And after you do that, you know what you have? Think about it. That comes in the next part. All right. Let's feed it on from here, because we'll get to the second half of the kata, because that's what we all class. Wait, is it 11:15 yet?
I think so. Yeah, can we do it from that natural?
All right, so we're gonna go from here, natural stance facing north, reach over the top, step out into the northwest, root block, northeast. Shift forward stance, lower block, vertical down. As you hit the vertical up, start into this. Figure eights.
And notice you can walk, you can shuffle.
Yeah, and you can get fast. If you do it on old cameras, it actually looks like you're doing it super speed.
Is that going south, or are you going southeast?
South,
Southwest.
southwest, it's on the diagonal now.
So here's north, there's south, that's southwest.
So right now, we're gonna go to, we started on this diagonal, on this straight ahead, then we went this way, And now from this neutral stance, we're gonna go on this diagonal. We're gonna come out of that, we're gonna shift to this diagonal. And then we're gonna bring the kata back to north. So right now we go southwest. We block this way. Diagonal down, vertical up, and then start the figure eight. And then from there, left foot steps through jab, you still have that diagonal. We come back to the northwest diagonal.
Back stance.
Do that little move we talked about, a little curve move. Okay, circle, jab, and as you step through, do this little butt strike into a forward roll. Yeah. So that's it, point out. You come here to jab, you go into a back stance here with a horizontal strike, a little vertical down pull, do the curve, do the circle, forward stance jab, step up, do the butt strike, you're going for a roll. You'll come out in the same, you'll come up in the same stance, foot sweep behind, step back through a butt strike, extend it, sweep, block above your head. I don't know this too much. Either way. Oh, well. All right? Yes, well, you can see what I do.
This is the hardest one for sure to learn via Zoom because of all the diagonal turns going opposite direction. It's, yeah.
Well, you know, I discovered that last year with close combat, which is why I didn't do that one again, because on Zoom, it's almost impossible. It's really hard on Zoom, because I can get right next to you in a classroom, and we can bang it out in each direction. So that's why I'm telling you, we're working with the kata. You're learning cool little moves that you've probably never done before with the bow. And when time comes, you'll learn the kata. Next year at training camp, either us or somebody else will teach it, and hopefully you'll get it. Yes. All right, so we're here. We're off on the northeast, above the head, shift 180, lower block forward stance, vertical down, vertical up. Now shuffle if you want to, figure eight. You get there, step through the left forward stance, jab, back stance, horizontal, you're in extended strike, pull it down and do the U curve, circle, jab as you shift in the forward stance, and then step through, butt strike into a forward roll. When you come out of forward roll, you'll find yourself in a right lunge stance, low block, low sweep block. And then if you want to think about it,
That southeast direction.
you go that way with a butt strike, extend around here, sweep, and back up on top. And then come around and finish the move in that direction. And now
You froze up.
about
The
to go
video
into the
froze.
wild part of the kata. What?
The video froze up after we got to this point here, before you went that direction, after the roll.
Back stance.
Okay, so let's start here. Back stance, horizontal across. Do the curve. Okay, a little circle move, close the circle down, shift, forward stance, jab. Step through, butt strike into a forward roll, come out of the forward roll, sweep low.
Southeast.
Step through, strike with the butt, extend, step through again, sweep low, block high, come across. Huh? Okay, so last one we just pointed out, because this is called the silver edition of Bow 6. I don't do the roll, but also when you come out and you do this first sweep and you do the butt strike, and you step through with the butt strike, and you come here, when you hit this, you're down on one knee.
But when he says down on one knee, of course, you never want to touch your knee to the ground, right? You can break your kneecap. So you're doing a low turtle stance and use your quads and your glutes.
So the block, when I do the turn here, and I do the butt strike, and I sweep behind me and I come up, I'll face you doing it. I'm on this far end, down on one knee or in a turtle stance. And then it's gonna finish with a horizontal strike across
Yeah, with two hands.
with two hands.
But that's on the.
It's all on this, on the diagonal,
On
I'm
the
just facing the
northwest.
camera.
Yeah.
And you stay in turtle stance for that horizontal?
Yes, you're, basically, if you watch people do the kata, they're gonna be on one knee. They're not doing a turtle stance, they're on one knee. Okay? Because then the next move from this is probably the easiest move in the whole kata. Right after you hit this, down low, you go into a forward directional. You gotta figure out how to keep your eyes going, forward directional swings. And then the last one comes back to north. Boom! High low block. And then you're gonna bring it in.
Can you show them your hands?
So on the bottom, you want to find a way to protect the most. So on the top, my hand here will be open. It won't be like this on both ends. But the bottom, it will be closed. Again, this is just my own preference. Because my idea is if I block something here with the stick, the next move is to drop it down. So if I block a stick and it starts going down after this hand, I'm going to shift it anyways. But some people prefer to have both hands like this. Very difficult grip. Very difficult. So I catch it like this. Because that's going to come here. You'll be in rectangular stance. One, bring it in, jab. Your rectangular stance, jab, jab, where you're shuffling in side stances. Bring it into a V stance, block above your head. Do a back roll. Come out of back roll on one knee and strike to the ground.
So you're here, boom, and then you pull it in, backward roll.
I should have put on my knee pads for that. Go ahead, there, and strike to the throat. No, stay down, stay down. After you come out of the back roll, you're down. Bam! That's a kill shot right there. You shove that in someone's throat like that, you got an excellent chance of busting the windpipe and killing them. This is where Sensei would give you a philosophy about peace, love, and compassion. Right after he told you how to crush somebody's throat. The next move, probably the most difficult in kata. From here, you'll get airborne. Boom, you'll fly up in the air and do a figure eight, just like bow three. And then you're gonna come up, and vertical up. Now you get to a roundhouse kick, horizontal strike. Pow, pow. Boom, boom. And on the diagonal, flip the stick twice, then shift forward stance, vertical strike down. We'll just walk through this, don't worry. We'll go back. Vertical strike down, step your right foot out and get extended on the bow. Right foot stuck out, get extended on the bow. Bring your other hand behind your back, drop in, boom, jab it up. Let the left hand grab it and pull it through. Sweep and take it all the way down. Yeah, we'll work on that. So what?
It was not an easy feat.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Our house is under construction, so I just kind of crawl through stuff to get him his knee pad.
If we did this class a month ago, like this used to be a wall right here. Now our kitchen's opened up with an island and all that.
Nice.
You can go to the GoFundMe page and send money to us.
That gives you more room for training, it looks like, too, now, too.
For now, there'll be a dining room table here, furniture there.
You should have one of those that floats from the floor and comes up. That way you can put it back down.
Yeah, I like your thinking.
But Mark, that would be a great Christmas gift you could give us.
Okay.
All right, so let's go from here, even though you don't know it to here. It's still the moves we're playing with. So we just came out of forward roll, we slipped back. We shifted, step through, butt strike. We went for elongation, step through, block low, block high. Cut their head off. Okay, and then we do the twirls. One direction all the way down to two directions. Okay, how you do this is you're gonna have to find your own thing. Again, the real way to do this is you're down here on one knee, right? You're doing a keto walk. So the first move you stay on, you switch from knee to knee to knee to knee, and then when you finally come up. So if you do the thing the way it was originally written, all those turns, you know how keto people move around on their knees? It's very smooth moving. I don't do it. You do all those on your knee as your circle.
And it's clockwise, counterclockwise.
yeah, counterclockwise. But most people, if you watch, will just stand up and do these circles, one, doing, you gotta go like east, west, south, north. You can't go east, south, west, north. You wanna go from one extreme to the other extreme, to the short extreme to the other extreme. Does that make sense? So, you don't wanna do this. You don't wanna come out on the first one, and on the second one, you just turn to here. On the third one, you just turn to there, and on the fourth one, you turn to here. You wanna come on the first one and swing there. Step all the way through and come 180. Then, from there, you wanna turn north, and then you do another 180, and then you finish with a 180 here. See? And Megan's getting a pretty good idea there. She's staying down low.
I forget, left or right foot in turtle stance on that? Right foot forward or left foot forward?
That's not gonna matter at all.
Okay.
You make the move look right. If you can turn, like you see how Megan's kind of hopping from direction to direction? Okay, that's not bad either, Sensei Mark, but remember this.
But you can go from one knee forward to the other knee forward if it keeps it smooth.
If you watch Aikido people, that's a very developed walk in their style.
And then you can also, if you want to stay very central on it, you can step forward, but on the next one, step it back.
Just find your rotation, be strong. Here's the biggest mistake made on that move.
And by the way, Megan, that was much smoother the second time you did it, so that was good.
The biggest mistake on that move is people that do this and it's wobbling all over the place because they didn't work it enough. And I'm gonna give you a real quick, hit a couple of drills to make that look good. Do these little circles with your bow. Just warm up with that, right? One way and then the other.
And if it's too much to be that far back, just shorten it up a little bit where your wrist can take
And when
it.
your wrist gets stronger, you do this. Little circle into a big circle, back to a little circle. And this is gonna build up your control of the bow. Then you go the other direction. You do it with both hands. And then you can do a figure eight here if you want. And these will give you great control when you're swinging the bow around. It makes it straight. See how straight I can get that without even trying.
Is it an umbrella or not?
Okay, good question. Master was talking about the umbrella block versus, I don't do the umbrella block here. For me, this is gonzo. I'm looking for someone to try to step inside of me and I want to rip their head off. So as I turn this way, it's like, you bring it around, whoa, fast momentum. You maybe take a little umbrella block here and then whoa, let it rip. Little umbrella block, let it rip. Little umbrella block, let it rip. Whiz! You're there. All right, tell me. We're not doing bad. 11:30. I told at training camp, this class has been 2 sessions, and so is combat. But beggars can't be choosy. Take time to give us.
However, Zoom is a wonderful thing. If you need to, we can always have another Zoom class on a Saturday when everybody's free or whatever day, and just do part of it. So it builds up from piece to piece to piece. So
We did this on Zoom 3 weeks ago with a group in Miami and in Miami. And we do a Saturday morning Zoom class twice a month.
So we can adjust to whatever your all's needs are, so
Especially since
keep that in mind.
once we get past the testing cycle, which is happening right now, then the Zoom class can be more wide open. And as we come closer to a testing moment, the Zoom class becomes very focused. So anyways, let's move. Who's Didubzi?
Huh?
Who's Didubzi?
Oh,
Oh, hi, I'm Daniel. I'm over in the Hwasen Dojo in Emeryville. I'm
Okay, Emeryville, very nice.
just
West
tagging
Coast.
along. I came in late. I was just thought I'd try to catch a snippet of this.
Excellent.
It's okay. Well, good morning.
Thank you. Yeah, good morning to you too.
Yeah. So if you want to jump in here, it doesn't matter, because believe me, anyone that's in this class with us right now does not know the kata to this point unless they knew it ahead of time. All right, let's go to here. We just did all the circles and we're here. So you came out and you did, now this is tricky. You did this in a rectangular stance because the block is forward, where you're powering. The second you switch here on the first jab, You go side stance, side stance. So you have to shift from your feet being out to your feet being squared. Then you come into X stance, rising block, back roll. We already did this. Come down, strike to the throat. Don't come up. Stay down on one knee. Strike to the throat. Now get airborne, figure 8, vertical down, just like bow 3.
Nice.
Vertical up. Right, straight ahead, roundhouse kick, horizontal strike together. And now on the diagonal. Circle once, twice, shift forward stance, vertical down. Now, if you want to be cool with that move, you hit this move, and you do this move. And some people, when you got a little nerve, you let it flip once on one hand.
So that it's going on the northwest angle.
And then I did it like this. It felt cool, so I did it on my test. I flipped it, I let it go like that, and then I went like this. And then I came back to the next move, right? Come up in here and go. So, you know, at the advanced ranks, if a move kind of moves you, if you're doing a kata for your 4th or 5th degree, and you want to change a move or two in a kata, I'm going to tell you right now, the average person up there at master level is going to go, I don't remember that move.
Because if it's well done, it's well done.
It's well done, it's well done. That's that. Now, at your rank, Nidan, Sandan, black belt, you screw them up, they're going to go like, yeah, do that again. And I want it to be done like this. That's just the name of the game. Rank does have its privileges. You get to play with the kata as you get along with it. All right, so we're here. We came out, bam! To your right, to your left, V stance, back roll, down on one knee. Okay, now you jump, figure 8, vertical down. Okay, vertical up, horizontal with a roundhouse kick, circle it, strike down. Okay, and boom. So, I'm looking at the camera.
So,
He's like, why are you facing this way? I'm like, because the camera's over there.
Northwest.
yeah, northwest. It's the roundhouse kick is still straight north, and
Yes.
then you turn 45 for the spin. Okay.
It used to be an old Kung kata called Bow 4, where you did 3 of these down the eye. And I will warn you, if you work this move hard and you really go to fire that off, and one day you hit that big toe and you see blood shooting out from your strike, don't be surprised.
Or if you get a nice big black and blue mark when you broke your toe.
Nice big broken big toe.
Be careful.
So if you want to practice this move, same thing with Bow 3, those of you that might be going for your black belt. Too many people try to do the figure 8 vertical strike while jumping. And then I asked them, I say, okay, don't jump. Just do the figure 8 vertical down, but you got to end up in an extended strike. And they really can't do it without jumping. And I say, well, why the heck would you try to jump with that move if you can't do it standing there? So you need to keep that in mind, that the best way to learn this move is without jumping. Then once you got it, you can jump and nail it. Just a little teaching tip. All right, so we're here. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Back roll on one knee. Jump. Wow. Wow. Vertical up. Roundhouse kick. Get it extended. Bring it under. So this is called a pull stick strike. This takes it with the palm, thumbs out here, and pull. You hit it, and then you just get this distance so you don't hit your own knee there. You got to get just enough to pull it through. And if you get good with it, it becomes a nice strike. You can do a one-handed strike there. Hit it, and I'll face you doing it. I'll come here, I'll hit the move, pow, hit it there, hit them in the head, sweep their foot out, trap their neck on the ground with my stick and choke them out. This one's done. Here, one opponent done. Here, I bring this down. If I had in the dojo right now, and you say, oh, let me see what that feels like. And I put you on the ground, I swept your leg out, swept around, and right when you hit the ground, my stick caught you in the neck, and I pushed against that ball on the ground. You tap out so freaking fast, you might already be unconscious. I mean, that is a serious choke. That's the second death blow in this combat. Okay, so when I'm here, if I take the north stance, we just came out of here, did the jump, and it was north, then we went northwest on the diagonal, where we did the circle and hit. When we did that, the next move, we went on the northeast diagonal, back that way. So
In a forward stance.
it went like a long forward stance. We hit this, we're back on the diagonal now. When we sweep and hit this, we're back on the east-west.
So you go,
So the strike here was diagonal. This was diagonal. Then she comes through, she sweeps it, takes me this way, sweeps this foot out. As it comes up, she comes down, hits me on the neck, and she's back on the
in what stance?
east-west forward stance. Okay? So you see this thing gets into a lot of angles. So if you hit here and you swing through and kind of let it come in and you do a little horizontal strike, you catch it with the other hand once it gets there, and then you sweep low, sweep the foot low, circle it around, and bang, trap the throat with the end of the stick. And then, okay. Is that our next timer? All right, fitness, wellness, assertiveness, openness, fairness, directness, oneness. What comes after oneness? You have to get down the art of teaching every student individually and simultaneously
Togetherness.
everybody together. Oneness, togetherness. That is the art of being a sensei. The greatest compliment that I got early on in our careers when a student came up and said, "Thank you so much for the personal attention you gave me today." And this is back at the old Suhari, where, you know, we had dues paying students, 50 and 60 adults. And when someone come up and say that, and you know for a fact that 5 different students came up and said that, but you gave every student a pretty equal amount of time, that's how you give each student, they feel like they got a special touch, when all you really did was very direct. When you got in front of them, they had your full focus, and you brought it together. Oneness, togetherness.
And the other thing about togetherness and what binds us is if you lead up all those different nesses up to this point, it adds up to we're doing this together. We're all in this together. Whether or not it's an instructor-student relationship, student to student, we bowed in, we're showing respect to each other, and we're doing this together. And the thing that really binds us is a good hard sweat and the philosophy, right? And so O-sensei said that his legacy is the philosophy, not any technique he ever taught us. And if you look at what Grandmaster Quinn's evolution was from barely talking about philosophies to the public to, as you know it, in the last years, many years, he always did a philosophy, regardless of where he was. And, you know, in those years before he started doing that, if you were on the phone with him, he philosophized. It was amazing. And the more he did it in public,
He would practice a lot of his philosophy talks on us. He'd call us at night and just start going.
and so think about how important that was. You got to know him from the philosophies. You got to know the people. And so that's what also keeps us together, the sweat and the philosophy. And that's why O-sensei said, martial arts without a philosophy is just you're just training a bunch of street thugs. And we are much more than that.
And to add that together, this concept. Sometimes O-sensei could see the athletic people in the class getting frustrated because the class was being a little held back by the people that weren't as athletic. And O-sensei said it one time that I heard it very clearly from him, because he said, "So you have it down. You realize that now you get to do more reps doing it correctly, and you can build the power and the strength. And this person won't even be where you at for another year. So you take advantage of that, because in the long run, you will have many more reps that develop you much deeper, and you must accept that. But the person that needs more reps, they're giving you an opportunity, because as you become a real strong martial artist, reps is the name of the game."
And you know, the key that he said is depth, right? We don't just teach the curriculum where you have to know this hand technique and this foot technique. We do 6 movements, 4 directions. We go up and down the floor with it.
Z letter, U letter.
Yeah, we do diagonal of a square with it. So that's what gives us depth. That's what makes us well-rounded. And so it's not only here with all the techniques, deepens the roots so that different students learn different ways, but everybody can come together and get better.
And you know what depth gives you? We're not MMA fighters. MMA fighters have a tendency to be a little wild in the streets. We know this because that's their reputation. They're always online. You know, look at what's his name, that Conor McGregor throws a chair through a bus window, attacking a guy on video, because they're not training a philosophy. So people say, oh, what good is that going to do in fighting? It's like, I'm looking to be a better person. I'm looking to be a stronger asset in my community. Depth gives you that. If you can do these moves strong and do them well and be balanced and have stances and this and that, that's doing the same thing in your mind. And that's what a martial artist is. A community with a strong martial arts school back in the day, they were called RUs. That community usually did very well.
And if you,
Versus a community that had a martial arts school that was Cobra Kai. The community got taken advantage of.
and if you think about it, you know, if our punch is here and we want it here, some people might say, well, what does it matter? Everything matters. The way our feet are, our hands are, our weapon is, because if we're off a little bit and we're defending ourselves, we can put somebody in a hospital versus just backing them away.
Or we could be misinterpreting a situation and getting into a bad thing when really it wasn't necessary.
So that's why we train our minds.
Fitness, wellness, assertiveness, openness, fairness, directness, oneness, togetherness. We got 2 left. Think about it. All right, let's go from here. We just did the back roll. We did the kill shot. We jumped up, did the figure 8, roundhouse, circle. We hit here, came through, swept, trapped their neck on the floor, turn a full 180 on the diagonal here, sweep across. You've seen this move a lot in here, right? Because, you know, and from right there, you come across, boom, you strike. As you come, you 1, 2, pull it over all the way here. Hits this little tricky move. Oh, and that's not yet. Step through horizontal this way. Come over the head, sweep through. So you're here, horizontal, bring it over the head, roof block, sweep under, bring it up, step through, forward stance, strike down. I'm missing a step there. Hold on. Bam! Come across horizontal. Boom, there's a little tricky move there. So you're here, boom. This foot steps up to a cat stance. You come across as your left foot steps back, horizontal, horizontal. Step up, foot sweep there, charge, strike down for left stand. There it is. Okay, it's pretty close anyway. So we're here. We just did the neck choke. Step into a back stance, horizontal, extended strike. Bring it through as you step up, horizontal, don't step up. Horizontal, as you step up, cat stance, step back with your left foot, horizontal strike. One more, so a lot of horizontal strikes here. Now step up, left forward stance, diagonal down, circle, jab, strike down, and from there you're going to drop on a 180 to your knee and strike above your up high. While still on your knee, you're going to twist around and block above your head. You're going to do a back roll, come out of the back roll, in here. I'm going to walk to the end of the kata real quick. From here, you're going to do a crossover, side kick, strike, hit it down, cross back over, side kick, strike, land down, 1, 2. Step into your side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, diagonal, 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 vertical, vertical, horizontal, horizontal, come across, bring it here, jab, and we're done. Oh, thank you. Let's go back. Neck trap on the ground. Hit this. 1, step up, 2, 3. Sweep low. I'd have to move out. Come back. Rising lock. Remember, 2 hands. Rising lock. Now sweep them. Jab, step through. Boom. Thank you very much. I just did it. Oh, I'm sorry. When I came here, side kick, foot sweep, jab, step through, vertical down. All right, so we're here. Swept them down, trap their neck, turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Twist it up, boom, boom. Sweep right there. Bring it up, jab. Bam. So this one is like, stick it right in their solar plexus and throw out, I don't care. Bang, crack their head open on the ground. That might be a kill shot right there. Switch on your knee, strike up. Switch it to the other knee, lock up. Back roll, come out of the back roll on one knee. Go on one knee right here. Let's do that again. You're facing north at that end move. So we're here, sweep them down. Turn, back stance horizontal. Back stance, shift to forward stance horizontal. Wait, step up, boom, boom. Come back up, stomp kick, sweep low, two-hand sweep. Bring it through, jab, step through, strike down. Go down to your left knee, strike up. Then you switch to your right knee, stay down here. Back roll on your left knee. Okay, how much time we got? All right, we got basically 15 minutes. So let's do that one more time. We'll go through the end series. And then I'm telling you, if you contact us, which a lot of people do, we'll teach you this kata over Zoom. But
We can do it in sections, so it's not like a whole day thing. We can do like an hour of one section now, and in this way we can go into depth and reps and answer questions.
Megan just hit me right in the nose with the stick, man. So I think y'all at this point in time, you realize that an hour and a half for this kata is impossible.
I realized that before I even started.
Now, I'm going to give you something. This is what I get to do, a little personal brag here. Quinn taught me this kata in 45 minutes in my day, back in 1987. That's how I used to learn katas. It was amazing. I wish I could still do that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this series one more time. We'll step out to the shot under, quick shot, bring it through, sweep, neck choke. What is back stance? Okay. Back stance, shift forward stance with 2 strikes, step up and throw another one as you step back to the left stance, circle it to the rising, stomp, sweep, jab, vertical, left knee down, shift, right knee down, back roll, left knee down. From here, cross over. Now, big question I want to ask, where should you look when you're throwing a kick and a stick at the same time? This is the answer I got from Sensei, the answer I got from Quinn, Grandmaster Quinn. If you come up here and you cross over and I look that way, then when I do the technique, I look away. So what he said is when the move starts and you do the actual move, look where you're not already looking. A lot of people will say, always look at the weapon. Quinn said, well, if you're already looking that way, you've never looked the other way yet.
And that's what he said in all katas we do is advanced ranks. That way it gives your kata a different type of life to it.
And a lot of senseis don't know that, so you might hear different. So you're here, cross over, look, bam, hit it, step over, 2, bam, hit it, land down, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then move to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, jab, whew. So let's go from there. Okay, so we're here, we do the crossover, and we do a little X crossover here, jab. When you land down right here, you're in rectangular stance, 1, 2.
Horizontal, horizontal.
Crossover, horizontal, horizontal, diagonal, diagonal, diagonal down the other way, vertical, vertical, horizontal, high. And the last one circles over your head, comes back over your head, boom, jab it. You can finish it as you please. I do an old Master Ulysses bow out. So we're here. We come out of this last one here, we step out, horizontal block, vertical shot, you're in side stance, one rectangular stance, then you cross over, do another one here, you're in side stance now, diagonal, 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 in different direction, vertical, vertical, horizontal coming across high, and then a roof block into a horizontal, back, how's it, roof block into horizontal, back to a load here, boom! And that just knocks them down. They're just out. If you finish this kata on your test and you're not breathing hard, then you have insulted the kata. Because if you're a marathon runner, you can do anything and not get tired. If you're a martial artist, you can focus yourself to the point of getting yourself wiped out on anything you choose. And if you do this kata right, it should take you to your limits. That's the essence of an advanced kata. You have two choices. One, you stay smooth and relaxed and breathing. Like Sensei say, when you're done, you've got to come out of the last move. Deep breaths. Find your composure. Don't let them see how tired you are. He didn't want you going, because I got through with this kata and I broke my shoulder and I was standing there going, fitness, wellness. Tell us the 10 S's,
What's the
somebody.
first one?
Fitness,
Wellness.
wellness. Assertiveness,
Openness.
openness,
Fairness.
fairness,
Directness.
directness,
Oneness.
oneness,
Togetherness.
togetherness.
Creativeness.
Wait, we didn't get there yet.
No.
Now, the last two. If you're truly a leader and you're really working with people and you really want to make growth happen, you've got to find a creativeness in your technique. A teacher that has no creativeness becomes boring. Not with just the student, but with themselves. Can you imagine if we taught our beginners back when Sensei Mark here started with us? I don't mean to diss his beginnings, but we're way better senseis than we were back then.
But how do we become that? Because of the students.
Because we got to teach them and we got to grow with them, and that works out really cool. So creativeness, and then the last one is the most important. It's in so many of our philosophies.
What is it?
Oh, well, either way.
Forgiveness. Sorry.
Forgiveness.
So what I just put in the chat is back when I had to know this, there was a bunch of philosophies that came out from Nidon for when I was studying Nidon. And so I needed a way to they made sense. So what I just put in there was the way that I originally had learned these. So anyway, so here we are, togetherness, right? And then sometimes things happen, whether it's between two students or student and instructor, between two instructors. And like Master Robert said, it's very common in our philosophies, which is forgiveness. And the way our sensei used to talk about that was, he said that if you have a situation and you don't forgive a student, what do you think another student's going to see? You're setting that example and they might not understand why you don't forgive them. So you might have lost some kind of respect in their eyes. Grandmaster Quinn used to talk about the open arms principle, accepting everyone. Now, that doesn't mean we don't have wisdom, but we can still accept someone and not agree with them or take in their words as truth, but we still show respect, right? And so we forgive the fact that maybe ourselves, if we hadn't given the best of classes or how we handled the situation, because we're all human beings on this journey. And so that's forgiveness. And then the last thing, to keep a
freshness to it all.
And to be able to continue to become the leader, the best leader we can be. Creativeness.
So let's go back once about forgiveness, because we've taught hundreds, if not thousands of students, a lot of students. And we've got dozens and dozens of black belts. When you reach that point in your martial arts career, you're gonna have students that fell the wayside because you insulted them somehow, or you hurt their feelings, and they didn't forgive you. And you're gonna have students that maybe you had to learn to forgive them. They stay in class, but you're like, "Grr," inside. You gotta learn to get over that. But the biggest thing here is that, you know, a letter got sent out to me once, sent to Professor Cates. We were working out in Burlington with Professor Cates for about 5 years. And he showed me a letter. He goes, "Hey, read this." And I read the letter. It's from an old student of ours that was really dizzying me bad. Basically telling Sensei Case that I'm a horrible person. And I read it, and I looked at him. He was standing there, and I looked at him. And I handed it back to him. And he goes, "What do you think?" I go, "I got nothing to say." And he just looked at me and goes, "Well, I have something to say." I go, "What's that, Sensei?" He goes, "Welcome to the advanced ranks." And so to look at him, that hit me so hard. I realized this is what you got to understand. We touch people deep inside with what we do. And there's a lot of emotion in there. But you know what else? There's also a lot of growth that we get to help and nurture.
And in turn, we get helped and nurtured, right? Because we're nothing without the students helping us grow as instructors. And so the last one's creativeness. And for everybody you've ever worked with or taught, do you do it the same way every time? I mean, if you're an instructor, do you teach the lower block the same way you did the first time you taught it to a student or showed it to a classmate? No way, because we'd all get bored, right? Because we work with each other, which elevates our skills. We were lucky to be able to all have Grandmaster Quinn in our lives, who's constantly evolving the way we should teach things. And so because of that, we get creative. You know, Come New continually evolves. And if we all always plug into that and, well, that's not the way I do it, we don't even have that in our vocabulary, right? And then Come New will continue to evolve and get better and better, not only physically, but mentally, spiritually.
We steal everything. If we come to your school and we watch a workout and we see you do something and we go, we'll turn to another, that's cool.
We take it.
We take it. We bring it home. We add it in. Grandmaster Quinn would come visit us. He'd go, we'd be working. He'd go, "Oh, you guys are already doing this. I was going to show you that today." Or you showed it to us last time you came. He goes, "I did, but I didn't think you would have already incorporated it." We go, "Of course we did. Of course we did. You showed it to us that way." Try to remember that. Let's take the business world. You're a salesperson and you sell, and make a bunch of money selling in a certain way. And then all of a sudden your sales start dropping. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to send you to a new sales seminar to teach you the new ways to do it so you can sell people, because the old ways, everybody knows our tricks on how to sell people. So in business, they constantly force it on you when the old way doesn't work anymore. We don't want to wait till the old way doesn't work anymore. We want to bounce back and forth. You imagine if you could bounce back and forth between 4 or 5 different techniques, same technique, 4 or 5 ways to teach it? That's cool. Anyways, if you have any questions, I know we're out of time, but I want to thank you all for coming in. It's a very tough kata. You all played with it well. And you contact us, we'll help you learn it. We really will. We've done this with 1,000 people. But
Thank you so much.
Thanks. And it was good seeing everybody, even those who are not on video. It was nice to have everyone in the class.
we now know that learning on Zoom can work, but it can also be very difficult.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
But
you.
thank you so much. And